Okay, so in this video, we will be sorting past paper questions. Okay, so over here, as the title says, these are past paper questions from 2011 all the way to 2015. And these are questions related to chapter number 3, memory and processors. Okay, this is the chapter that we just completed a little while ago, the previous few videos. Okay, so over here, we are attempting past paper questions that are directly related to this particular chapter, chapter number 3. Okay. So in the first one, and these are past paper questions I told earlier from 2011 to 2015. Okay. So over here, a DVD is an example of, so I'll be using a text box to type my answers. So a DVD is an example of optical disc. Okay, because flash memory is pen drive, magnetic storage is going to be a hard disk, and here hard disk is hard disk. Okay, so over here the answer will be optical disc, answer C. In the next question, the table shows a specification of two laptops. Okay, so there's laptop A and laptop B. They're asking us identify the laptop with a larger cache. Okay, so when you look over here, which one has a higher value for cache? You can see this is 1 megabyte and this is 512 kilobytes. Okay, so 1 megabyte is greater than 512 kilobytes. Okay. So if you're confused, how is that possible? Then I would recommend you watch the last video of chapter number 3. That is part 4, I think. Okay, do watch that video. In that video, I explain how computer memory is measured. Okay, so over here, the answer will be laptop A. Laptop A has a larger cache than laptop B. Laptop A has a 250 GB hard drive. State what is meant by GB in this context. So answer would be gigabyte. Okay, so GB means gigabyte. Okay, right. Flash memory devices are available in a range of sizes. Which one of these provide the largest storage capacity? So from over here, 500 megabytes, 1 terabyte, 500 kilobytes, and 1 gigabyte. So from these four, 1 terabyte is the biggest storage capacity. Okay. An optical disc is an example of portable storage media. Name two types of optical discs. So for optical discs, we know of three types. We know there is CD, there is DVD, and there is Blu-ray. Okay, so you can note down any two of them. You can say CD, DVD, or Blu-ray. Identify two examples of data that could be stored on an optical disk. So when it comes to an optical disk, you can store videos, you can store images, you can store documents. All this is possible. Okay. Some removable storage devices use flash memory. Okay. Name one removable storage that uses flash memory. So when we talk about flash memory, we are talking about storage devices such as pen drives, memory cards, SSDs. Okay. These are storage devices that use flash memory. Okay. They use the technology of flash memory. Okay. So you're supposed to put only one. So I'm going to put pen drive. Okay. Moving on, Jonas wants to buy a PC. He intends to use it to download music, watch videos, play computer games, communicate with friends. Jonas has been advised that in order to complete this task, he will need a PC with a fast processor and a large amount of RAM. Name the units used to measure the speed of a computer processor. So the unit that is used to measure the speed of your computer processor, yes, it's gigahertz. Okay, so gigahertz, or you can use a smaller unit such as megahertz, kilohertz, or even hertz. Okay. Explain why Jonas has been advised to buy a computer with a large amount of RAM. So if you look, they're giving you 4 marks. So you have to properly explain why he needs to have a computer with a large amount of RAM. Okay. So let us first explain the function of the RAM. Okay. So you can say the RAM will load files from secondary storage, and hand it to the RAM. Okay, and it also holds programs that are running in the background. Okay, so now you have shown the examiner that you know the function of the RAM. Okay, so you have to first, since they're giving you 4 marks and asked you to explain, first show that you know what the RAM does. Then relate your answer with the scenario. So in the scenario over here, we're talking about Jonas who wants to download music, watch videos, play computer games, and communicate with his friends. So now use this information in your answer. Okay, so you can go on to say, with a large amount of RAM, Jonas will be able to watch HD videos without them getting stuck, as the RAM will be able to provide the video files to the processor on time. Okay, so when you're watching HD videos, so much of graphics have to be loaded, but since you have a large amount of RAM, the RAM will be able to hold these instructions and give it to the processor when needed. Further, Jonas will be able to have a smooth gaming experience, as a large amount of RAM will be able to hold his gaming, or a large amount of RAM will be able to load his gaming instructions for the processor when needed. Okay, so when you're playing games, a lot of instructions need to be loaded immediately. A delay in any of those instructions and the user can get frustrated. The game will lag, the game will get stuck, things may not happen on time. It will definitely affect the user's experience. Okay, but when he has a large amount of RAM, these instructions will be loaded on time, given to the processor on time, so the game will play smoothly. Okay, then we can also finally we can say that there are many tasks he wants to do. He wants to download music, watch videos, play computer games, communicate with friends, multitasking. Okay, so with a large amount of RAM, finally, with a large amount of RAM, Jonas will be able to easily multitask on his computer without anything getting stuck. Okay, without anything getting stuck. Okay, so if you want, you can, when you say multitasking, you can refer to downloading music, watching videos, playing computer. You can refer to it, or you can simply say multitask, because over here we have mentioned a lot. Okay, up to you. Okay, right. Moving on to our next question. It says, which one of these statements is accurate? 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. Yes, that is accurate, isn't it? 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 megabytes. No. Okay, it should be the other way around. 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 kilobytes. 1 terabyte, 1024 megabytes. No. 1 gigabyte is 1024 megabytes. No. But you see, guys, even though they are using kilobyte here, which is the decimal, which comes in the decimal number system, they have used 1024. You see, even though they are used, normally when we say kilobyte, we are referring to the decimal number system. In the decimal number system, we don't use 1024, right? We use 1000, right? I hope you remember in part 4 when we explained part 4, part 5, don't remember, where we explained the decimal number system and the binary number system. So over here, there is a small, what do you call, issue or correction that you can say. Okay, when they use the decimal number system, they should make this 1000, not 1024. Anyway, no problem. Let us put our answer. Answer is A. 1 kilobyte is 1024 bytes. Okay, right. Documents can be saved on a PC's hard disk. A hard disk is a type of secondary storage. Okay, under primary, we only have RAM and ROM. So over here, the answer is secondary storage. Okay. A PC has both ROM and RAM. Identify the row in the table which has the correct information. Okay. So ROM loses stored data when the computer is turned off. That is wrong. The ROM does not lose anything. Okay. B, can be written to and read from. That's also no, because in the ROM you can only read. You can't write anything to it. Okay. So answer B cannot be. Answer C, can be written to and read from. So answer C is also out. Answer D that's the only remaining answer, but let's go through it. Can be read from but not written to. That's correct. Loses stored data when the computer is turned off. That is also correct. So your answer will be D over here. Okay, answer D. Okay. Moving on, Sabir uses a USB pen drive to save a copy of the letter. Identify the type of memory used in the pen drive. Okay, so over here, the type of memory would be flash memory. Yes, we're talking about a pen drive. So our answer is going to be flash memory. So over here, we put flash memory. The next question goes as gives two benefits of using a pen drive to store data. So there are many benefits when it comes to a pen drive. First, you can talk about it is small in size, so it is extremely portable. It is small in size, so extremely portable. Okay. Next, you can say it uses flash memory, so it has a high read-write speed. Okay, it uses flash memory technology, so it has a high read write speed. You can mention that. Okay. The next question says, give one drawback of using a pen drive to store data. So what are some of the drawbacks? First, you can talk about the cost. You can say the cost per GB is quite expensive. Another disadvantage, another drawback that you can talk about is you can talk about its size. You can say since it's so small in size, it can easily be misplaced. It can easily get lost. Okay. Any one of them you can mention. You can say since USB pen drives are very small in size, they can very easily get misplaced. Or guys, you can talk about the cost. Okay, you can say it's expensive. Okay, the cost per GB is expensive. Okay. Computer memory is measured in bytes. Which one of these is the largest? So kilobyte, terabyte, gigabyte, megabyte, you should know it. Okay, it is going to be terabyte. Terabyte is the largest. Okay, so answer is B. Which one of these is an example of secondary storage? So CPU is a processor, application software is a software, hard disk is a secondary storage device. So we put our answer as C. Okay, so you see past paper questions, not too difficult. Data being processed by a computer is stored in, so data that is currently that is being processed will be held in your computer's RAM. Okay, so over here we put answer A. Okay. John has photographs of gardens that he has designed stored on his digital camera. He would like to use these photographs in his leaflet. He uses an SD card to transfer the photographs from his camera to his PC. Identify the type of memory used in an SD card. So an SD card is a storage device. The type of memory that it uses is flash memory. Exactly. Okay. So over here we put flash memory. Okay, the type of memory it uses is flash memory. Okay. Describe two other methods of transferring photographs from a digital camera to a PC. So this is not directly related to this chapter, but it can be included. Okay. So two other methods of transferring photographs from a digital camera to a PC. So they have already mentioned the use of an SD card. So we have to mention something different. So one thing that we can talk about is using Bluetooth. Okay. So when he uses Bluetooth, he will have to pair both devices. The camera and the PC will have to be paired first. Thereafter, transferring of photographs between both devices can take place. So let's mention that first. We can say, who is it? John can use Bluetooth. Or you can say like this, using Bluetooth, John should pair his camera to his PC. Once both devices are paired, he can transfer photographs from his camera to his PC. Okay. Something else we can talk about is we can simply talk about the USB cable. Okay, we can talk about the USB cable. John can use USB cable where one end of the cable is connected to the camera and the other end is connected to the PC. and then using file, and then using his PC, he can what you call transfer photos to the PC. Okay, so we have spoken about USB cable. You can also talk about Wi-Fi. You can say he should connect the camera to his Wi-Fi and his PC also to Wi-Fi, and then using the internet, or and then what do you call? I'm sorry, my bad. You can say John should make sure that his camera and PC are connected to the same router through Wi-Fi. Okay, thereafter, files can be exchanged between both devices. You can also talk about cloud storage, okay, where he can use a particular app, okay. You can even mention that as well, okay. Right. Moving on to the next question, number 7, it says copies of files can be stored on an external hard disk. An external hard disk is a type of, yes, definitely secondary storage. Okay, so our answer over here would be answer B, secondary storage. Okay. The next one, factors affecting the performance of a computer used for video games are the size of the hard drive, okay, the clock rate, okay, the amount of RAM, no, amount of RAM does not affect the performance of your games, okay. Answer B, answer B also has the amount of RAM, so we don't consider it. Answer C says the type of processor, yes, the clock rate, yes, the amount of RAM, yes. Answer D, the size of hard drive, the amount of RAM, and the type of processor. Those three also do matter. Now, the difference between answer C and answer D, the difference between answer C and answer D is the clock rate and the size of the hard drive. Okay. Difference between answer C and answer D is here it mentions clock rate, here it mentions the size of hard drive. Okay. Okay. So now if you look at the two, the clock rate is how many instructions are executed every second. Now, that is what clock rate means. Clock rate means how many instructions are being executed every second. Okay. So when it comes to video games, that matters a lot more than the size of your hard drive. Size of the hard drive, yes, it matters. But when you put clock rate versus the size of hard drive, which one is more important? Which one matters more? Users would say the clock rate matters more. How many instructions can it execute every second? That matters more than the size of hard drive. So in this case, when you compare the two answers, answer C is the correct answer. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Okay, so over here we put answer C. Moving on to the next one, it says the table shows the specification for the PC. So over here, these are the specs of a PC. The computer has a 2 TB hard drive. State what is meant by the term TB. We did a very similar question earlier, but in that question, they use GB. Over here, they're using TB. So we very simply say TB means terabyte. Okay, right. Identify the speed of the computer processor. So over here, you can see the speed of the computer. This is the processor. The speed of it is 4.2 gigahertz. Okay, so we enter a text box and we very simply say 4.2 gigahertz. Okay, give two types of external storage devices that can be used with the computer. So you can talk about an external hard disk. Have they mentioned it anywhere here? So here they have only mentioned the optical disk, CD and DVD they have mentioned. So we can mention external hard disk. We can mention pen drive. Okay, you can mention memory card, you can mention SSD. Okay, all of those are fine. Okay, CD, DVD, you can also mention Blu-ray maybe. Okay, the computer has an 8 GB RAM chip. Explain the role of RAM when data is being processed. So when data is being processed, it is the RAM that will hold the data of files that are running in the background. Okay, so say for example, right now I'm working on Microsoft Word. My processor is busy executing instructions of Microsoft Word. Okay, so then what my RAM is doing is my RAM will be holding that data, that my processor is working on. Okay, that's where the data will be stored. It will be stored in my RAM. And in addition to that, the RAM is also holding programs that are running in the background. Okay, so let me put it down in words so you will have a better understanding. You can say the RAM will store the data that is being processed by the processor. Okay, and further, it also holds the data of programs that are running in the background. Okay, so right now I'm working on Word is being processed, but the files of Microsoft Word are being held in my RAM right now. Right now my RAM is only holding it and my processor is processing it. Okay, in addition to that, I also have many other programs open in the background. I have Explorer opened, I have Notepad opened, I have Zoom opened, I have Microsoft, I have other programs, the operating system, antivirus software. So all these programs that are running in the background are also being held by my RAM. My RAM is holding them. Okay. Give two ways in which RAM differs from ROM. Okay, so we can first talk about volatility. Volatile. We can first say the RAM is volatile while ROM is non-volatile. So I hope you know what it means. So volatile means the RAM loses all data once the power is switched off, but the ROM does not lose anything when the power is switched off. Okay. The second difference, you can say data in the RAM can be changed, or you can say modified, while data in the ROM cannot be changed, cannot be modified. Okay. You can also talk about that the fact that the RAM can be upgraded, ROM you cannot upgrade. Okay, you can also talk about that. Right. With that, we have come to the end of these questions. So these are questions from 2011 to 2015. Okay, so it's very important that you do practice them. Okay, and if you do want this worksheet, let me know. I have given you the details in the description. I can give you access to this worksheet so where you can practice on your own. Okay. Yeah, so with that, we have then come to the end of this video. Okay, I hope you're benefiting. I hope you're learning. If you do have questions, finding difficulties, anything, if you want to join my live class even, details are there in the description. Okay, so all the very best.